So what is going on, guys? This is Ryan here.
And this is other Ryan here.
And welcome back, guys, to a new video discussing the newest teaser on ScottGames.com, which appears to show a brand new animatronic in ruins.
Yeah, we're not sure which animatronic this is, as when you go to right-click and save it, it just saves as project.jpg, but I'm going to take a wild guess that this is probably Bidybab.
Maybe even one of the other characters, because of course we still have Ennard as well that we've not even seen. I mean, it's a mixture between either Bidybab or Ennard. There's going to be a lot of discussion about the image itself, what we can see within it, just some key points as well we think Scott might have tried to raise with this specific teaser as well. So we're going to delve straight into that right now. Okay then, guys, so we're going to start by analyzing, of course, the most prominent thing about this whole image, and that is, of course, the animatronic's face.
Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty much falling apart. We've got the one glowing eye, and I think just by the left cheek there, I think that's meant to be another eye that's actually fell out of its socket, maybe. Because if you look at the bottom, you can actually see like, the pupil at the bottom, so it just goes to show how damaged this animatronic actually is.
That's a good point, yeah, because at first I was kind of thinking that might be the cheek, but now that you actually say that, definitely you can see on the underneath part, it looks like an iris of some kind. And it's hard to see if it's illuminated or not, but either way, we can say it's safe to say that this animatronic is extremely withered and very much damaged. So the first thing I want to raise as well about this animatronic is the appearance of the kind of outer shell, because a few key things about this kind of show that it's more of a Ballora type build of animatronic as opposed to maybe some kind of newish animatronic.
Yeah, as we know, Ballora is actually a humanoid. You could call her a human robot, unlike the others where they're animatronics, they're animal robots pretty much, like Foxy and Freddy. This one actually has the same ears as Ballora does. Yeah,
you can see the kind of oval shaped portions to the side and there of the same tint as the sort of mask is to this animatronic here as well. And I think it's just very interesting the fact that now we've got possibly another human based character within this sister location, because I mean, I think out of all the animatronics, Ballora is the most, well, is the animatronic that really favors towards the uncanny valley, because she looks so real with the detail, yet there's a few things that just don't feel right. And now you see this character, which has definitely like human features. We've got the cheeks in the right place, of course, the forehead, the eyebrows, etc. And it's going to be another one. And I mean, the fact that it's all withered and destroyed as well, it's going to make the uncanny valley even more severe, I think, with this one.
Definitely. And the if you actually look at the nose, you'd think that that's part of it. But I think that that red nose there is actually detachable, because underneath it, you can actually see the nose. That just goes to further back up that this is definitely a humanoid kind of animatronic.
Absolutely. And also talking about the nose, before we go too far off the topic of it, it's very important to speak about the reflection we can see to the right-hand side, because I think a lot of you guys may be thinking that this is possibly the next teaser or another animatronic that we might be seeing in the future. But what we've got to actually look at here is the way, if we look at the nose, you can almost see it's got the face shape. And all we've got to do really is look at the other side of the mask to see that it's pretty much reflecting that.
A lot of people will probably say that it's going to be the puppet, but, you know, like Ryan just said, you can clearly see the right side of the face coming out of the actual animatronic head itself, so that's going to obviously cause a reflection on the nose. Yeah,
absolutely. It's not like behind the nose, so it wouldn't reflect on the underside of it. You can see the face is actually lifting forward, meaning that this face, or should I say the face, is actually being reflected within the nose portion of this character.
Definitely.
So the next important thing to talk about before the text at the bottom, which is pretty crazy to say the least, is the way the wires have been positioned in the bottom corner. Because, I mean, if we actually look at this character, all it seems to be is a mishmash of wires and just the head of this guy. And I think an important feature we've got to remember, guys, is that, of course, if we're playing as the Night Guard in this game, we're going to be playing as a human character. And if you actually look at the way the wires in the background are knotted, it's definitely been knotted in such a way to almost keep clean, maybe to stop them sprawling out everywhere. And a human has done this.
Yeah, definitely. And I think maybe this goes off of the whole you don't know what we've been through kind of vibe, because it feels like these guys, well, this character alone just kind of goes to show that something has definitely happened to make it like this, whether that's a human actually coming along and doing that to its face, or him doing something that caused it to be destroyed. We're not so sure at this point, though.
Another thing I've just thought about, which would be horrific as well, is, okay, I'm going to plant a seed in your head, and hopefully it doesn't grow too much over the course of me saying this, but I personally think now that this guy might literally work almost like a Medusa character. It's like the wires will kind of like sprawl out and crawl to you over the floor.
Oh, God, okay. Yeah.
I think because you can see this guy's really limited. Other than that, we don't see any arms, and it looks very, very damaged.
And just going off of that point as well, with the little caption in the bottom right, there's a little of me in every body. Now, he doesn't actually say everybody, it says every body, so those words are completely separate. So straight away when I looked at that, I thought, this guy is obviously going to possess maybe the animatronic animatronics, the other characters, to make them more aggressive, or he's going to do something to us as a character that's going to make our lives a living hell to defend against the other animatronics.
So this is kind of interesting as well, because it's the fact that it says there's a little of me, and when it says me, it's referring to an individual character or something. So there is one force controlling potentially all of the animatronics, and so this leads back greatly to maybe some kind of paranormal entity or something like that entwining within the robots and haunting them. And it just really makes you think, like, you know, we've got all the backstory about the children, and we've got to think about the most unexplained character still in Five Nights at Freddy's.
The puppet, of course, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And even if it's not the puppet is like a physical character, that could have been like a shell that was being haunted almost, if that makes sense.
That definitely could make sense, especially with Scott's stories and how he actually portrays them.
Yeah, because like I think the most important thing, because I was thinking about this, and like all of the characters, they've all got the same kind of features when they move about. They've got this like metal endoskeleton. It's almost like the bone structure, you know, without bones, muscles wouldn't know how to properly retract and things like that's, you know, we've got these pivot points on our arms and things like that. That's why we can function this well. And you've got to think about the puppet though. The puppet is literally just an empty, could be like a stuffed form of plushie, yet it's able to move around the establishment and jump scare you with actual, like it moves forward to you, and it's not got an endoskeleton, so there's nothing underneath controlling it, meaning potentially it's got some kind of paranormal entity which could easily kind of lift away from that, or maybe just sit in the background or something controlling it.
Definitely, and we just need to kind of think to ourselves what that story will be, because obviously before it was 5 children who died. I don't think it's going to take the same route, but I reckon it's going to be rough. It's going to be the same, obviously, with like haunted paranormal side to it, but I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see the story behind why they are actually possessed.
Definitely, and I think another thing I've just thought about as well is the fact that if this animatronic is primarily made of wires, it will obviously be kind of sprawling along the floor, crawling its way to your office or something like that. So this might be a use for why we can go through the vent, because this thing might possibly go through the vent as well if it's low down.
Oh god, yeah.
So that might be a way to either avoid this or maybe go in the same room as it. I know that sounds absolutely ridiculous. You know, if you look in the back room, it kind of looks like it's definitely in the sister location establishment. We've got all this metallicness, everything's all shiny and glinty, and it's definitely in the same room, and it might be almost like a puppet mechanic where you got to wind up a box, but maybe you got to do something slightly different to this guy to keep him from leaving.
Yeah, and as you can see in the background as well, there seems to be a lot of pipe and industrial kind of things in the background. So it goes to further back up this like underground facility where rejected animatronics go, or something like that.
Definitely, and I want to actually end on another point I've just thought of off the top of my head as well, is because, like, you know, we've got this character as like clearly another Ballora type character, but we've got to think about all of the animatronics within the trailer. Now, if you think about them all, each of them seems to have a very unique ability. Ballora can sing, for example. We've got the Freddy character with the plushie, so he's some kind of different entertainer. Ballora dances, etc., etc. And we've got to think that these guys are all seeming to have like a unique thing about them. They're not like a band. They're not meant to all kind of coerce together like the Freddy Fazbear gang that we know and love. So it's almost like these guys are performance-based characters, each in their own unique area.
Yeah, definitely.
And that to me backs up the whole idea that these guys were once used, instead of like for a pizzeria or something, an entertainment-based establishment.
Yeah, maybe they were from separate establishments. Yeah, now they're all together, kind of like as misfits all together now, performing together, I guess.
That's a really good point, because they all do seem to kind of have these deformities, or, you know, like they're not as like how we'd expect them. Like, you know, we got Freddy with a Bonnie plushie, like that. That's not how the finished product was. And then this pink Foxy, which we've never seen before. It's like they're the byproducts of possibly testing before they either got out, or, I mean, heck, this might even be in the future, looking at how metallic everything is now.
Yeah, definitely.
So there we have it, guys. That was a really, really in-depth discussion about this animatronic. Hopefully you did enjoy this one as well, because, I mean, it offers a lot now. We're getting these new faces, so makes you think, man. You know, we had Enid and Biddy Bab, and we've got one more name that possibly doesn't fit to an animatronic we've seen yet, so we've got to see another character still. Yeah,
and by the looks of things, whatever it's going to be is just going to be nightmare fuel.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you guys did enjoy this video, why not leave a like rating down below? And hey, why not actually leave a comment of your own theory of what this guy could possibly do and his actions that could pretty much make your life a living hell.
Absolutely, guys. I mean, we're going to be actually absent from Theory Thursday for this upcoming Thursday due to myself being away. But the following week, you know, we'll have a long time to look at this image and we'll get some great theories in time for Theory Thursday. And we think you guys will really enjoy it.
Definitely. If you guys enjoy, why not subscribe also to keep up to date with all FNAF Sister Location and other indie games.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. We, of course, hope you did enjoy. And we will, of course, see you on the next one.
Goodbye, guys.
Want to see even more content from us?
Consider liking and subscribing to ensure you'll see all content in the foreseeable future.
And hey, why not check out our past 2 videos?